presence of magnetic hotspots, combined with the intriguing shapes on the satellite images, are enough to convince the Canadian authorities after meeting what actually lies beneath the surface.
I am walking for the first time after many, many months of looking at satellite imagery. This is actually one of the first times where I'm visiting a site where I've processed the data, but I've never even been to a site remotely like it before.
Isolated.
I really had no idea it would be this beautiful. Absolutely no idea at all.
This whole area has rivers and lakes full of fresh water. There is plenty of food and wood in the forests.
Just look at those cliff drops. You know, over the last couple of months, we've spent a lot of time looking along the entire Labrador coast. We looked up every single river. Tens and tens of thousands of square kilometers. We've looked in Quebec, we've even looked along the coastline of Maine into Massachusetts. So we've looked everywhere. And from that analysis, this very interesting site appeared. So when we were doing initial processing, all I saw was a dark stain. You can see the slightly darker area right here. That's all I saw. Okay. And I almost discarded it. But when we processed that imagery,
new and potentially intriguing patterns emerge.
That rectilinear structure shows up very clearly here. That you can see the outline of what looks like it's the first site we've had in 55 years that merits closer examination and excavation. Because, I mean, its size, its shape, the fact that the soil is different, the fact that there are these clear rectilinear and oval structures, I mean, it screams, please excavate me.
If this turns... But is there really anything there? Are these the remains of ancient Viking buildings? Or are the patterns of light and dark simply natural, caused by variations in the local geology? He spent 15 years studying and excavating sites. He's skeptical that the technology will work here.
I mean, it could be a small raised section of rock or sand. As human beings, we are basically made to recognize patterns. We're really good at the must-see. And you can certainly look and say, you know, that looks like it looks like a structure. But many of the things that look like buildings in this image do seem to match patchiness in the geology. And about those, I'm extremely suspicious.
With what we've seen on the satellite imagery, you know, it looks very suggestive. We've studied dozens of examples, but we can't be absolutely sure until we go on the ground. And what we do is called ground truthing. It literally means we are confirming whether or not what we've seen from space is actually on the ground. And it's an essential thing you have to do before you start excavation. Step one is non-invasive surveys. So we have to go out on the ground and use a magnetometer to measure what might be buried beneath the ground.